welcome. Today's Wednesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A all about dropshipping on eBay and Amazon. A couple of news-related topics I want to discuss, and then I'm going to get into answering your questions. This is your time. I put it aside for you guys, whether you are here live in the live chat asking questions, I'll put them up on the screen, answer them for you. Or if you can't make it, that's okay. Just leave a comment under the comment section of any of my videos, and I'll put them up on the screen like this and answer them for you during my next live Q&A. So before we get into the questions, I did want to cover a little bit about some eBay news that's happening. So if you haven't heard already, today, September 25th, 2019, the eBay CEO has resigned. He's been the CEO, I think, since 2015. So a little over 4 years, I think it was July 2015, that he's been the CEO. So for many of you watching that are fairly new to eBay, he's been the CEO the whole time that you've been selling on eBay. So there's not a lot of information out there about exactly, no official statement, I should say, as to why he resigned. Just, they parted on good terms, all that kind of generic stuff that they normally say. And I'm sure he, was paid quite a bit to leave as well with the severance package. But how do I feel about this? What does this mean? Was he a good CEO? Well, one of the things that he struggled with as a CEO was because eBay is a publicly traded company, the board has always kind of pushed eBay and the CEO to make more money for them, for the people that own the company. And the unfortunate thing is that this CEO has basically said and did make more money by providing or by giving us sellers more fees. So that was his solution for making more money. Now, this probably did work to some extent, but in the long run, I don't see the sustainability of a practice like that. It just annoys us as sellers, drives us away from the eBay platform. And we all know that at this point, eBay is not the largest platform out there, right? Amazon is bigger. We have other platforms cropping up as well. Poshmark, for instance. People can sell on Walmart. There's a bunch of different marketplaces. eBay is not the only one. So they have to be competitive not only to their buyers and the prices to their buyers, but also to their sellers as well and how well they treat us as sellers. So the fact that this CEO solution to make more money was just to take more money from us never really sat well with a lot of sellers, including myself. So it will be interesting to see what direction eBay heads in now that he is gone. So let me know your opinion of that. I'll see what you guys have to say about that. Let's see. Rich says the hedge fund guys on the board were not seeing eye to eye with the former CEO and did not agree with the proposed asset sale of other businesses. Yeah, I heard some things like that. They wanted to potentially buy some other businesses, and there was some disagreement there. What's up, Hustle Williams? Thanks for being here. Lazy Abram, what's up? Thanks for being here. Hustle Williams says goodbye to the former CEO. Ed O'Connell, doesn't seem like him either. Let's see. Gabrielle is here, so what's up? So that's the first thing I wanted to cover was that bit of news. And the next thing I wanted to quickly, this is a funny Twitter comment I saw. I don't even know who this guy is, Casey Newton, but he tweeted, by tradition, every 3 years, the eBay CEO leaves and the job is auctioned off to the employee with the next most Beanie Babies. Thought that was pretty funny. And then the other comment I saw that was pretty funny was the CEO is leaving so he can make more money by selling on Amazon. But let's move on now. I wanted to quickly make an announcement. Tomorrow, there's going to be a webinar that I'm going to be a part of. I'm not hosting it, but I'll be there to answer some questions. It's being hosted by the guys who run and own AutoDS. So if you do want to join that webinar, it's going to be all about dropshipping from Home Depot. That will be linked up down below. Even if September 26th passes, still click it anyway. I'm not sure if there'll be a replay, because like I said, it's not my webinar, but you can check it out. I'll be a guest over there, so I can see some of you guys tomorrow night there. Let's see, more comments. All right, so I wanted to answer a question I had saved from this week, and this is from Vegas. So Vegas asked this question: what happens if a customer, they get delivered their item, but the customer claims the package rather, was empty? What do you do in that situation? Well, the very first thing you should do, Vegas 911 ZM, is that you should contact your supplier, whether that's Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon, whoever you're using as your supplier, and tell them the same thing. Say, hey, this was delivered, but it was empty. A lot of times those suppliers will just refund you or ship you out a new one, depending on the supplier and how much the price of the item is. Now, if that doesn't work, what you next want to do is look at the carrier information, FedEx, UPS, on their website. A lot of times it tells you the weight of the package. So they will actually weigh it. And so then if the customer opens up some sort of case, you can call eBay and say, and you should also send this in a message to the customer, say, hey, this item was successfully delivered to you, and the tracking number shows it was delivered, and the tracking number shows the proper weight of this item. Because the weight is correct, if you're saying you didn't receive the item, you need to open up an investigation with the carrier, because on our end, it's showing as successful. And if eBay sees that the tracking number shows delivery and the proper weight, they should side with you if any sort of case is opened. Now, if a case is closed against you anyway, which does happen, you just got to call eBay up and appeal it for the same reason. Give them the same explanation, and that appeal should be done in your favor. But that is an excellent question. Let's see. Mario says, I'm thinking change is good, nowhere to go but up. What's up, Jeff? Thanks for being here. Let's see. Any thoughts on promoted listing? Here in Australia, only one is showing, and I paused all mine yesterday to see what happens. So I'll talk a little bit more about this later. Got some other comments about it, but really I've already made 2 videos about it, and I don't really have any new information besides what I put in those videos. Let's see. Mike D says, is your affiliate code for AutoDS 1 week or 1 month for $1? I'm pretty sure it's 1 month for $1. But the link down below is not for the trial. It's for the actual webinar that I just mentioned. Okay, so Bobby says, can you address some of the most common bugs in the new non-API AutoDS and what they are working on? So there were some bugs when it started out. Certainly when I was beta testing it, there were some bugs. I haven't seen any recently. They all seem to be worked out. The things that they are still working on as of now, and maybe by the time you watch this, all these will be implemented. They are looking at doing some auto ordering and making sure that the other monitors, such as the I'm forgetting the names, but the other monitor settings you can change as well. They're going to be at least trying to get those to function as well. I don't want to put words in their mouth. This is just kind of what I heard. Yeah, so Ed says, I had some years ago a claim of an empty package from Walmart. They just shipped another one right out. Yeah, and for myself, I purchased an item recently. It was a new leash for my dog and for myself. And it arrived, the package was empty. So I just called Amazon up and they shipped me out a new one. They didn't even question it. I didn't even have to send them a photo. Let's see, David is here, says, I'm here on a live new to the course, the Dropshipping Titans course, only to see these on my lunches at work. Good to see you, Paul. All right, so let's look at another question from this week. This one says, so this one I kind of wanted to talk about later. Save that one. Okay. No, I guess we're going to talk about it now. So these are some comments about the promoted listings. Thanks for clearing up some of the information about promoted listings. By the way, I like that pop-up tool you use to search deeper on eBay. Can you please tell me? All right, so Nick Gormat Camara. When I was making that video about promoted listings and trying to show some more information about it, I was searching on the eBay website for the promoted listings, and the person is questioning me how I was able to search on the eBay website. And let me show you what I did. A lot of you are going to know what this is already, but I'll share my... Can you guys see my screen? Oh, my face is too big. Let's do this. There we go. And all I did was like search for an item like chairs. And then in the search result, literally all I did was Control F, or on my MacBook, it's Command F. And then that allows you to search the page anywhere on the page. And this isn't just for eBay. This is for whatever website you're using. So press Control F or Command F. Then anything you type in this search bar at the top, like let's say you want to search for a number like 129.99, it will show you everywhere on the page that 129.99 comes up. So that's all I did. I wasn't using any sort of fancy software there. Just a simple find in page Control F sort of thing. So just wanted to show you how to do that. Okay. So Newman has a question, says, as a virtual assistant, wouldn't your virtual assistants be able to work whatever hours they are comfortable with on their own? And maybe you just have like a meeting with them once a week, or maybe just for like 30 minutes a day. So this is one of the great things about being a virtual assistant, is that many times the tasks can be done any time of the day. So for instance, the virtual assistants I've hired, when they list items, I don't really care what time of day they list items, as long as it gets done every day. Customer service, again, I don't really care when it gets done, as long as it gets done at the same time every day, consistently every single day. And the other big one is ordering. Now, ordering is one where I do want them to be sort of on the same schedule as me, because I want to make sure, again, that it's getting done at the same time every day. And because I use gift cards for my business, I want to make sure I can give those gift cards to my virtual assistants and that they're used correctly, and then I get that information back from them. So for the most part, a lot of the tasks can be done on their own terms whenever they want. I know for my virtual assistant who does my customer service, I wake up, I see a message from her on Skype. She tells me an update on what's been going on, and that's it. I can then close that out and send her a response, but that's it. So for the most part, I don't have to be awake at the same time as her, or her at the same time as me, and that works fine. Okay. Let's see. How do you manage your shipping rate tables with a lot of different prices and products when you only have 40 of them? Well, for my shipping rate, I mean, everything's free shipping for me. I only do free shipping. Okay, so Country Wolf says, hey, Paul, I've been battling Walmart the past 6 days. They keep canceling my orders. And every time I call, they just say to reorder. Been canceled 5 times now. So if you're brand new to Walmart, then this does happen. They're just afraid that you're committing some sort of fraud, or someone's stealing your credit card and then using it for fraud. So that is common with new sellers dropshipping from Walmart. What you need to do is mix it up, use some gift cards, pay with PayPal, pay with American Express checkout or whatever, Visa checkout. But keep using that credit card. The more you use it, the more they'll get used to you using it, and it won't get denied anymore. Now, there are some products like televisions that you'll just keep seeing those orders get canceled. So those items you should just delete from your store, is my opinion, because Walmart doesn't like you buying a lot of them. Would I recommend drop shipping from Bed Bath & Beyond? Generally, it's a really tricky one because it does work. There are some really good profits to be made with BBB, Bed Bath & Beyond, but you can get in trouble with them. So they tolerate drop shippers, but if you start using a lot of their coupons, if you sign up for their Beyond Plus program, I don't even know if they have Beyond Plus anymore, but if you use the Beyond Plus, they don't like resellers using that, so they'll start canceling your orders, and so you got to be careful with that. And not only do they cancel your orders, they also don't even put the money back on your credit card until you call about it. So it gets to be if it happens to you, it could be a big mess. So just be careful. Okay. Angel says, hey, I'm using the non-API AutoDS. I posted some items and it still says in progress. What's happening? So after you post an item with AutoDS, you then have to click on the Chrome extension and then click on the one that says upload pending uploads to eBay. That's the last step that you have to do to make sure the item gets uploaded. And it sounds like you're not doing that. What's the basic difference between manual API and, manual stores and auto API, and disadvantages with AutoDS? So there's two versions of AutoDS. There's an API version that connects to eBay through the API system, and there's the non-API version that connects to eBay through the file exchange. Now, the API version is very automated, but in my experience, those softwares, eBay doesn't tend to like them as much as the file exchange ones. So because the file exchange ones seem to be more compliant with eBay, then what I do is I use the file exchange system, which is called the non-API AutoDS. So really, there are benefits to both, but I think the benefits of the non-API outweigh the API, just because eBay, I think, will rank your items higher if you use the non-API. Okay. Okay. So another question here is, okay, so this is a comment about promoted listings. So Milan said, I have disabled my promoted listings after seeing this video, the last video I made, and my sales doubled. Impressive. So for myself, when I turned off promoted listings, I saw my sales increase, and Milan here is saying the same thing. Now, in the video I made about promoted listings, I told people, hey, look, I'm turning off promoted listings because under eBay's new update as of September 2019, we're seeing that we're no longer showing up twice in the search results, only once. So I wanted to experiment and turn off promoted listings, see how it would impact my sales. And for myself, I saw my sales increase. Not everyone who turned off promoted listings saw an increase. So you got to experiment for yourself and see whether having promoted listings on or off is better for your account. It sounds like for me and Milan, definitely turning them off is better. Where is it? Milan, there you go. All right, so next comment is from Danish. Danish's question is, hey, Paul, how do you prevent Home Depot from blocking your orders? I keep getting an error saying they cannot confirm my credit card or PIN. Please try again later. I'm doing 2 orders at a time, still getting the error. So Danish, the first thing you should do is sign up for the webinar I have tomorrow about Home Depot, because we'll be answering a lot of these questions. But the other thing you should know is that while Home Depot used to allow us to ship to as many different addresses in one order as we wanted to, they've slowly reduced it. They reduced it then to only like 9 and then 7 addresses per order, and then only 2 addresses per order. And now it seems like they only want us to ship to one address per order. So if you're getting an error, that could be the reason. You want to switch it up so that you're only shipping to one address per order for Home Depot. I still think it's possible to ship to two addresses, but it's not as easy. It's like their system is buggy with it. So I wouldn't even rely on it happening at all. The other thing you want to be aware of is that Home Depot, like Walmart, is afraid of fraud. So I've found that using credit cards on Home Depot is almost impossible. It's almost shocking how crazy that is. But Home Depot credit cards, I've never gotten them to work directly on their website. I either pay with gift cards or I pay with PayPal, and both of those work fine. So that's the other suggestion I have for you as well. Okay, so question from Alessio. What's up? Said, I went below standard. So first of all, sorry that happened, and I'm struggling to raise the numbers up. Facing the months ahead, do you suggest to open another store with same items and aggressive pricing? Thanks as always. So my suggestion first is to analyze what happened so that doesn't happen again. I'm going to be releasing a video soon all about becoming below standard and how to prevent it, how to fix it. So if you want to avoid that from happening, or you want to learn about that, make sure to subscribe to the channel for that video. I'm also going to talk in that video about how it's actually possible to become below standard and not even realize it, because it happened to me once. So that will be in that video as well. So my suggestion is figure out what happened. It's either that you had too many cancellations or cases closed without seller resolution, and make sure that those numbers don't go up even further. Then what I would do is lower your prices enough so that you generate more sales, so that the percentage of cases with problems, the percentage becomes less and less and less and less. Because if you open a new store, that's not always going to solve the problem. You really want to fix up your existing store. Okay. Oh, so Lazy Abram says, the shipping rate tables on eBay to charge your customers a surcharge when paying for taxes for certain suppliers when they charge you taxes for some states. Hope that makes sense. No, it does make sense. So let me go back to, I don't know if I'm going to find your original question. I'm not sure why you need 40 different ones though. No, for me, it's kind of a non-issue, so I can't directly answer your question because I'm now tax exempt everywhere, because I've just applied for certificates in all the necessary states, so I'm tax exempt everywhere. So I would have to look into that. Maybe I can get a better idea of your question at another time. Okay, so KT says, hey, Paul, can you elaborate on how you are overcoming the Amazon TBA tracking numbers? Because when you put them into eBay, eBay doesn't accept those numbers. So right now, I'm not drop shipping from Amazon to eBay. Nothing wrong with it per se. It's just that I'm focusing on other suppliers. But if you use AutoDS, they will give you these special tracking numbers you can use. You can also join TrackerBot, which will do that as well. That's the easiest and simplest way to do it. Okay. AceBN PR007 says, have you heard of all the changes Lowe's is making / did make regarding coupons and their shipping policy? What are your thoughts? So yeah, it sounds like Lowe's is really cracking down and making some big changes. Still feels like we're in the middle of it, so I'm not exactly sure where this is all going to land. But it seems like overall what they are doing is they are, one, going to start charging us shipping on some items until you reach a certain threshold. In addition to that, you can only ship to one address per order, which has been the case for a little while now. And one of the benefits of using Lowe's was that we used to be able to get a lot of coupons to get a huge discount from Lowe's. And those coupons are kind of disappearing, / Lowe's is limiting how many you can use. Not exactly sure where we are going to land with this, but that does seem to be the case. So what do I think about this? We kind of had to see this coming. I've been drop shipping from Lowe's for a couple of years now, and always been shocked how willingly they have given us discounts with these coupons, and how they just let us use an unlimited number of those coupons to get, a high percent off on all their products. And I kept saying, I'm just going to keep doing this until they cut it off, but I know it's going to get cut off eventually. There's a saying I like, it's make hay while the sun shines, right? I saw it coming. I knew it was going to happen eventually, but I'm like, while it still happens, while these coupons are still available, when multiple shipping addresses in one order was available and free shipping was available, I'm just going to take advantage of it while I can to make as much money from it while I can. So I do think Lowe's to eBay and Lowe's to Amazon is still going to exist and still be profitable. I don't think it's going to be as perhaps easy or maybe as profitable, but again, I'm kind of okay with that because I saw it coming and I made a lot of money from it while I was able to do it, while we were able to do it. But I'm kind of giving it a couple of weeks again to see where things land, because it does feel like we are kind of in the middle of all these changes that Lowe's is trying to roll out. Okay. Okay, so let me see some more of these comments from the week. So I wanted to now announce the winner of a contest that I held recently. I made a YouTube video where I reviewed an eBay dropshipper's store and recorded that and said if you wanted to win a store review of your own store, I would look at your store and privately review it, let you know what could be working better with it. All you had to do is comment on one of my Instagram posts. So the winner of that giveaway is Bobby LG. So Bobby, if this is you, send me a DM on Instagram so we can get connected and I will review your store. Congratulations. Okay, next comment. Charlie says, can I pay with a gift card and still get cash back? Cool. So Charlie, the answer is officially no. You're not allowed to buy an item from Home Depot or Walmart or Amazon, Walmart or Home Depot using a gift card and still get cash back. I'm not sure why that's the rule. It doesn't really make sense to me. There's two rules regarding it. One, you can't buy gift cards like Walmart gift cards from Walmart and get cash back for the purchase of those gift cards. The second rule is, like I just said, you can't then redeem those gift cards and get cash back for redeeming them. And I guess the logic there is that these cashback websites exist to encourage people to shop on the website, whether it's Walmart, Home Depot, in these examples. But if they already have gift cards for those websites, then you don't need an extra incentive, right? You have to spend those gift cards on those websites or you don't spend them at all. So I guess that's why there's no cash back allowed for redeeming gift cards. Now, does it work sometimes anyway? Yeah, it used to work for me for a long time. Now it's gotten a little bit more tricky. So, you can try it. Don't be shocked if it doesn't work for you. Okay. I'll get to this one in a minute. Let's look at some more comments that are here in the live chat. Vortex says, hey, I used to get a lot of sales per day. A few days after eBay's promoted listings update, I noticed a dramatic decrease in sales. I turned off promoted listings. It's still not the same. What do I do? So I don't know your eBay store, but the unfortunate thing is that eBay rolled out this change right before the 20th of September. And on the 20th of every month, eBay resets our accounts, or they reevaluate our accounts. And on the 20th, they either give you a top rated status, above standard, or below standard. And that can impact your sales. If you're below standard, you are going to be ranked lower. You're going to get an increased final value fee. So those things can impact your sales. So it could have been that instead. So unfortunately, two things happen at once, which is kind of unfortunate. So it's hard to really nail down what's what. Do you set up different stores for different suppliers, or is everything consolidated in one store? Seems better to spread the risk in case something happens. I've done it both ways, and I don't really have a preference really. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling. So some suppliers, like for instance Lowe's, I've always had in its separate store just because it was so much different to deal with than my other suppliers. But Home Depot and Walmart, they're very similar. So I had them in different stores for a while, but now they're combined into one. It's just a little bit easier to manage, but it's really on your preference. It certainly makes things easier in a way to have separate stores. Therefore, it's easier to keep track of things. You can have one VA who runs each store and be a specialist for that supplier. But yeah, it's really not that necessary. You can have everything in one store. It's really personal preference. All right. Okay, so let's see some more comments. Okay, so Paul, can you please make a video about your experience with buyers with zero feedback? So inner greatness, this isn't really something that I really pay attention to. You know, when someone buys something from you on eBay, you're supposed to ship it to them. You can't really tell them, you know what, you don't have any feedback, so I'm not going to ship it to you. That's why we have eBay's seller protections and PayPal seller protections in place, because as long as we ship to the address on file, we should be good. We are covered by their protections. So I don't worry about it because you got to ship to them anyway. So okay, so back on the topic of promoted listings, Timothy C says, what does it mean when you say that eBay will show up either promoted or organic, but not both? But then in the next sentence, you say eBay says you can show up organically even if you're promoting listings. Contradiction there. Wait, now I'm confused. What does it mean when you say eBay will show up either promoted or organic, but not both? Next sentence, you say eBay says you can show up organically even if you're doing promoted listings. Okay. So I understand the confusion. So under the eBay seller update for, with this promoted listings update, eBay has said that when you are running promoted listings, let's say you're selling this cube right here, and you have a listing for it, it's an organic listing, but you're also running promoted listings for this. Under the new update, let's say that before you were running promoted listings, before you were running promoted listings, you were showing up organically on page 1 of the search results. That this was showing up really on page 1 organically. Now you are running promoted listings and you're running them at a really high percentage. So when someone searches for this, it should show up, the sponsor listing should show up on the first page. Well, now you have a sponsor listing on the first page and an organic listing on the first page. And eBay says that's not allowed. You can't have 2 listings on one page. So what they do is they only show one of them. And eBay has said that which one they show depends on which one would have been higher. So if the promoted listing would have been at the top, they're not going to show the organic listing. But if the promoted listing would have been at the bottom of the page and you would have shown up organically at the top of the page, they're only going to show the organic listing. That's what eBay has said. Now, in my experience, looking at my own store, I know a lot of my items were showing up on page 1 really high in the search results. Yet despite that, my promoted listings were the only listings showing up, even though they would have shown up organically anyway. So does that answer your question? What does it mean when you say eBay says you show up either promoted or organic, but not both? Shows up organically, even if you're promoting. So when I say that eBay says you can show up organically, even if you're promoting listings, it means that just because you are promoting this item doesn't mean it's actually going to show up as a promoted listing. Because if someone else outbids you, then you're not going to show up in promoted listings, potentially. So in that case, because you're not showing up in promoted listings, eBay says that instead your organic listing will show up. That's what eBay says. But in my experience, again, only the promoted listings were showing up. Cool. So we have Ask Godzilla here. What's up? Oh, what's up, Bob? Bobby, congratulations on winning. That's super exciting. I didn't realize that's you. Bobby's always here, so it's really cool that you won. I didn't even know that was you on Instagram. Okay, so Cardenas says, I left promoted listings off and started posting more on other platforms. Seems like I'm getting faster using other platforms now. Yeah, and that's one of the unfortunate things is that we as sellers, we don't have to use eBay. Like I mentioned before, they're not the only platform out there. We choose to use them because there's things about it we like, but they should really start treating us a little better, I think. Reynard makes a really great point about this, and he says, what really irks me about eBay is how vague they are with how best to operate your store. We shouldn't have to be running experiments to see what works best. It's not like a brick and mortar shop with all those variables. You pay to be on the site they control and have all the data to it, so it shouldn't be a guessing game. They even limit your store and don't tell you, as I have listed items from my old, it got cut off there. But, Raynor makes a really good point. These websites, Amazon, eBay, they always try to be so sneaky about their algorithms. And I think there's good reasons for that. I think they're afraid that some sellers will come in and learn how to manipulate the algorithms. But I don't know. I don't really see how, once the websites become smarter, I don't really get how we could manipulate them, right? The algorithm clearly looks at some important things like item specifics, the good high quality photos, good descriptions, good pricing. So why lie or why cover up exactly what they look at? Why not just tell us? Because obviously those are important for the algorithm because they're important for eBay. So why shouldn't eBay just tell us to do a better job at those instead of hiding those things? And I don't know, I kind of agree with you. Okay, so Anna says, I've been below standard on eBay for 2 cycles now, and I'm selling stuff at 99 cents at a loss, but selling a lot, and I'm confident my rating will go up on October 20th. Is there a time lag for items to be more visible? That's something I would call eBay about. I'm pretty sure there's no lag, but you would have to double check with them on that. I do know that the final value fee, you'll no longer pay the extra 5% final value fee as soon as you become above standard again. Mohammed says, I turned off promoted listings, but I'm still getting sales via promoted listing. What should I do in this case? So I would double check, make sure all your promoted listings are actually off. But the other reason is if, let's say you're selling this and there's a promoted listing for it and someone clicks on it and maybe they watch it or maybe they bookmark it and they come back later and purchase it, you're still going to pay the promoted listing fee. And the reason for that is because there's cookies that attach. So once they click that link, a cookie attached, and assuming they then bought it later, you get charged the fee for it. That could be what happened. All right. Let's see. Okay, that's a great comment. Read that one. And this is the last comment here. So in that promoted listing video, I talked about how some ad blockers make it so that you can't see promoted listings, which means that if eBay has blocked your organic listing because you're showing up as a promoted listing and someone has an ad blocker on that gets rid of promoted listings, then you're not going to show up in the search results at all. Now, in that video, I was really careful to say that not all ad blockers block promoted listings, but some of them do. This guy commented that how we are creating panic over this, just saying it is not at the level that some people are reporting. And so I just want to clarify again that I'm not saying that this is a huge issue. I just wanted to point it out that it is an issue, and it surprises me that eBay wouldn't think about that. And the more important point is not the ad blocker. That's kind of just another thing I'll throw in there. The more important thing is that we used to show up twice in the search results, and now we don't. And eBay is the only website that I found that does it that way. Google will show you twice in the search results if you pay for it. Amazon will show you twice in the search results if you pay for it. eBay is the only one doing it differently, and it doesn't really make sense besides the fact that this guy knew that it would help eBay make more money by making us sellers pay more money. Are those Chips Ahoy cookies or Oreo cookies? Oh, cookies. Yeah. I didn't get what you meant at first. All right, so we kind of brought it full circle here, talking about the CEO resigning. So I think this is a good place to close it out for the night. Want to thank everyone so much who came out for the live stream and who asked questions. If you guys got any value out of this video, I would appreciate you smashing that like button down below and consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that little bell notification right there on the right, so that you get alerted every time I make a video and go live, so you can join us during the next live Q&A. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great week.